And so I would walk into a task force meeting, and in the first one, Vice President Pence turned and says, well, Scott, what do you think about one of the first couple, about the risk to children?
Yeah.
And I said, well, and I had about 15, 20 manuscripts of the current data in my briefcase. I already discussed everything with all the epidemiologists who I knew. And so I gave a 10-minute presentation on the data. And basically the bottom line is it's extraordinarily low risk for healthy children, and schools should open, and the data was known all over Europe, all over Western European peer nations. They were opening their schools from the Netherlands, Italy, France, Sweden. Even in the face of lockdowns, they knew that the risk to children was low and they were opening the schools, and the harms to children were extremely high if not opening schools. Right. Pence then turns to Dr. Birx and Fauci and says, well, what do you think? There was silence. They had no data. In fact, there was never a single task force meeting, not one, where any of the other doctors brought in a scientific paper. Zero. And Dr. Birx's only comment at that meeting and in the future was, you're an outlier. Okay, that's not a scientific rebuttal. There's no data there. And then at that same meeting, I remember this vividly because it was so really tragically depressing, the level of incompetence and lack of knowledge in these doctors on the task force. He turned to Dr. Redfield and said, what do you think, Bob, about the risk to children in opening schools? And Redfield leaned back, and this is after massive data known, published all over the world. He leaned back and he said, well, let's just say the jury's still out. And so I was sort of, I didn't know what to say, and then we just went on as if my presentation didn't exist. And this was a repeated pattern. I mean, these people, I have never worked with such low-level people. And I always used to say, none of these people could be an assistant professor in the departments that I worked in.
Wow.